Welcome to the All Access Entertainment Podcast. I am your host, Joseph Bruen, and this week, a very special guest, ladies and gentlemen, the great Robin Shelby. Thank you so much for joining us this week.
Hi, Joseph. Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
Absolutely. Pleasure to have you here. Very excited. We were able to set this up, and be nice to take a quick deep dive into your awesome career thus far.
Thank you.
So let's rewind to the very beginning. You know, growing up as a child or young adult, what were some of the first films and cartoons that come to memory for you?
What got me actually into theater, and I started in children's theater. I was taken to a production of Annie as a kid and was hooked. I saw the kids on stage and I was just like, I want to do that. I totally want to do that. And from that point on, I got involved in a local theater, and then I got involved in like a regional professional theater after that, and just kind of snowballed after that. But yeah, shows, but that's kind of what got me hooked in everything.
Awesome. And obviously you've been a part of so much. You've done television, you've done film, and obviously theater, like you've mentioned. What would you say, looking at your entire career thus far, what has your number one moment been? If you could choose one moment, whether it be on screen, behind the scenes, whatever that moment may be for you.
That is a really good question. I would say being on the set of Ghostbusters 2, and Bill Murray comes on the set and throws a party at the end of the day, and we had like some music, and he brought in drinks, and I would say that was the most random, unexpected, fun moment that I've had working in the industry.
Yeah, doesn't get much bigger than that. And, let's talk about that. Ghostbusters 2, obviously coming off the success of Ghostbusters 1, going into it, you already knew how big this was, but 1989, you're portraying Slimer. You're in the actual costume and getting ready for that that role. Why don't you walk us through that process? And obviously we saw what that looked like on screen, but as far as getting into the costume and what that entailed, what the different elements were, let's hear all about that.
It took everybody kind of it was a process that we all had to get used to, and there were pieces, and the head was very heavy. It had motors and servos, and it was animatronic, and it took about 40 minutes to get into the costume in the beginning.
Wow.
And we got it down to probably about like 15 or 20. But it was hot and heavy. I had to definitely have to get used to it. Had to take breaks throughout the day, obviously, taking the head off and taking a drink of water and getting some air. But yeah, so it's just a process we all kind of learned together, because that costume hadn't been used or made before. So we all were in the same boat learning how to make it work.
And obviously, like we said, coming off the success of part one, obviously we already knew it was established and it was very popular. But did you think at that time, in being a part of part two, that it would just grow to become such a massive phenomenon? Ghostbusters still huge to this day, and new films still coming out.
Like you said, like I was a fan of Ghostbusters, and it happened 5 years earlier. I was the early part of my high school. I loved it, and I auditioned. When I auditioned, I didn't even know what I was auditioning for. It was in the Bay Area at Industrial Light and Magic, and they just said, "Come on in, we want you to audition." I didn't find out really the details about it until after I'd been given the role. Okay, this is what you're working on. And then, of course, you're thinking, oh, my goodness, there's a lot of big shoes to fill. And it's a beloved character that you don't want to mess up. You want to do a good job. So there's a little pressure there. But as we got closer to filming, you had to let that go. You couldn't sit there and be in your head about what you had to live up to. You just have fun. I had to have a good time and just enjoy what I was doing. I had to be in the moment, not worry about what I was portraying. It's an iconic character, and I knew that, but I
Yeah,
tried to just forget about that when I was working.
sure. And when you had auditioned for that, how was the news broken to you as far as finding out what it was? Did you first find out that you were indeed Slimer, which obviously gave it away, or did you first find out you were going to be in Ghostbusters 2 and you didn't know who you were going to be yet?
It was together. It's like, okay, I auditioned, and then shortly after that, you get a phone call. Oh, this is Ghostbusters 2. You're going to be portraying Slimer. So it was kind of all at the same time, and it was a little overwhelming, but I was so excited, of course. Why? How could I not be happy and excited?
Right. And how long were the days of filming for you, and how long was the whole process for you as far as the whole project?
I think we rehearsed for about a month, and we shot for about 3 weeks. The days were about 15-hour days. Um, they were very long, but and I also lived an hour and almost an hour and a half away. So I was getting 4 or 5 hours of sleep, waking up,
Oh my
taking a
god.
shower, hopping, going back over there. And I actually fell asleep in my vehicle going home one night, um, driving. I was just so tired. And then
Oh
I was lucky. I kind of went off just the shoulder of the road and pulled over. But I told them the next day, they're like, look, pack your bags. We're getting a hotel room and you're going to be up here and avoid that. They had no idea. I don't think they really realized what I had been doing as far as the drive. And it got so much better after that because I was like 10 minutes away from ILM at that point. It made it so much better.
so they were very accommodating.
They're wonderful. That's one thing I have to say. I was like just about a kid, a female teenage, almost teenage girl on the set. And they were very protective. The people on the set became like my brothers and sisters, kind of watching out for me and making sure that I was okay. They were so great. Um, yeah, I couldn't have asked for a better group of people. And of course, brilliant. It's ILM. They're all like the cream of the crop at ILM. So
Yeah,
I was a kid in a candy store for sure.
that's awesome.
Absolutely.
And where was it filmed exactly?
ILM, and it's just past San Francisco.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, it's off of Mill Valley Road. I forgot, is it Mill Valley? I think it's Mill Valley. It's just about 15 minutes past San Francisco. Um,
Okay.
yeah, and I was living in San Jose. So if you have an
Okay.
idea of the reach, the distance, it was pretty crazy. But
That is a
it's in a
hike.
very kind of like a secluded little place. It was a hike, yeah. But they've moved since then. I think that they're in the city. I think they're in San Francisco. So that old building that we were shooting in, I think somebody else obviously owns it now. But yeah, it's such a great place. It was such a great place.
And you kind of touched on the weight of the costume as far as what it was made out of. What type of material was that?
Well, underneath there was metal, there were wires, servo motors, plastic, and the outside was latex, like a latex covering of the face and the body. Um, I, I don't even know how much it weighed, but I think I weighed 90 pounds while we were shooting it. I weighed nothing, and I probably was carrying almost half my body weight. It was crazy.
Wow.
Um, but yeah, they did such a good job making Slimer look so amazing. But with the motors and all the animatronics in it, it was extremely heavy and hot.
And do you think that costume was preserved, or did it kind of break down over time?
They gave me the arms, what an arm and the tongue, one of the tongues that we used. They went through three of them, and it started breaking down. The tongue, it's latex. It actually disintegrates over time. And
Oh, wow.
one of the amazing people that worked on the most recent Ghostbusters, Aryan, he's a special effects guy. Um, we became friends, and he actually preserved the tongue for me. The arms kind of they died, but the tongue was barely saved, and he preserved it with a glue or a solvent to cover it. And so thanks to him, I'll have it for a long time.
That's fantastic. Actually, my next question was going to be, out of all the projects that you've been a
Mhm,
part of, is there a certain keepsake
mhm.
that kind of sticks out, throughout your career? Would that be your number one, or did you have something else as well?
At the end of shooting, they made a maquette. It's like a small model of the character. They made about 15 of them while they were designing Slimer with different colors. So Ivan Reitman could look at them and choose what he wanted. I I was given one of the maquettes at the end of the shoot and have it signed by like Michael Gross, the producer, on the behind. Yes, and then Mark Siegel, one of the puppeteers, signed it. That was I. There's so few out there. I don't know who else still. I'm sure there's a few around, but it's pretty rare, and I love it. It's like, yeah, I'll keep it forever and ever.
What a piece. So you've got multiple fantastic keepsakes over the years then. That's great.
I do, I do.
So Sybil, 1997, you were a part of that. Let's hear about that experience. You were there for an episode, and what was that like? Very popular.
I was a co-star. It was a veterinary assistant in a scene where she takes her pet into to be seen, and I'm a few lines. I was working on the show actually as a dialogue coach, and what a dialogue coach does is I was there to help them if they wanted to run lines leading up to filming. I would go with them into makeup so I could be there to run as many lines as they want. And one week they said, "We're going to put you in. We're going to give you a couple of lines there," and it was so much fun. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
I love sitcoms.
And the
I've
year
always been a
prior,
huge sitcom
1996.
fan. So to be able to do something like that was pretty cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, yeah. Especially
I'm so
like you
sorry.
said,
Go ahead.
being a
Go ahead. I'm
fan and
sorry.
being able to. Oh no, that's okay. I was just saying, being a fan and being able to, dream about it, and then all of a sudden there you are. You're a part of these sitcoms and these projects. It just must be such a rewarding feeling.
Absolutely lucky. Feeling very fortunate. Yeah.
Yeah. So the home court was 1996. That was just a year previous to that. What was that experience like?
Pamela Reed. I think she was in Kindergarten Cop. She's an amazing actress. Um, Also doing some dialogue coaching on that show as well. And ended up ended up getting married on the show. She played
Wow.
a judge, and she was demoted to like a marriage judge marrying people. And I was one of the people that I was going through the line, and she married on the show. Funny part is, I got married like a month after in real life after I got married on the show. So it's pretty funny. Very, very great
Oh
timing
wow.
for
So you
that.
had some practice in.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And why don't you tell the fans? Yeah. And why do you tell the fans about the auditioning process in general? Obviously, that changes from project to project, but for fans who aren't familiar with that, what does that look
Mhm.
like behind the scenes?
Since the pandemic, it's changed a lot. There's a lot of self taping um, to where you'll audition first. They'll send you a script, and then you'll have a day or two or three to tape it, put it on tape yourself, send it in, and then a callback might happen after that. Um, I just had one this morning for a commercial. Um, it's fun, and the only thing is you can be really picky about it because you can tape until the cows come home until you're happy with it. So you can tape it a million times, but you got to kind of just give it your best shot two, three, four times, and then okay, we need to move on, and this is it. But yeah, it's fun. I miss kind of going into the room with people. Sometimes you get energy like when you are in the room with the casting director and other actors. It's kind of a different experience. So I miss that
Hmm.
actually a lot.
And when it comes to commercials, when you're auditioning for a commercial specifically, are you able to kind of choose which one you're going for, or do you just audition in general and they'll assign you to different commercials?
That's a good question. I have an agent and a manager, and they'll send me, okay, they want to see you for McDonald's. They want to see you for Nike, whatever it might be. So they kind of choose you if they want to see you, and you might be right for it. And then you'll self tape it, put it on tape, send it in.
Okay, awesome. I was always curious about how that works, so that's good to know. Very interesting. So when it comes to meeting the fans, traveling to different fan fests, conventions, comic cons, I know you've
Mhm.
done several over the years. What is it like having that opportunity to, see your fellow actors and
Yeah,
actresses and maybe meet people that you have looked up to as well, and then obviously meeting the fans one on one and having that opportunity?
interesting. You mentioned both things that are so much fun. Meeting the fans, they have been so giving and supportive. To be totally honest with you, like with my career and what I'm doing, they couldn't. They're an amazing group of fans for a film, and they're always doing things for their communities, like raising money for cancer research or breast cancer, whatever it might be. So they're always helping out where they live, which I think is amazing. And I've met some people that I wouldn't have met otherwise doing other actors that I've become friends with. Um, so that's been kind of cool. The first time I met Ernie, it wasn't on the set. So I shot at ILM. I met him at a convention in Ohio, and could not have been sweeter. And he, I still keep in touch. We still keep in touch. It's a great way to meet and talk with other actors and share stories, and it's a great camaraderie when you're in a convention together. So both meeting the fans and other actors, it's a win-win. It's a lot of fun.
Ernie is such a great guy. I had the pleasure of meeting both Ernie and yourself at Rhode Island Comic Con over the years, and it was a pleasure to meet you both, and it's great experiences.
Thank you. It's amazing and it's
So for the
tiring. I mean,
fans, when it comes
it's long
to
days. You didn't think it.
oh, I'm sorry, there
Go
was a
ahead. I'm
delay.
so
You
sorry. I
can go
think
right
there's a
ahead.
little bit of a
Sorry.
delay, maybe. Yeah. No, 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 no. I just no. It's okay. It's just yeah. It's a little tiring doing conventions. It can be long days, and you're focused like for 8 hours or 9 hours straight, and you think it would be that big of a deal, but when you're really paying attention and listening and there for 8 hours, it's a long day, but so much. It's still fun. I need to do another convention here soon, for sure.
Yeah, it would be great to see you back out there for sure, here in the New England area, specifically. And for the fans, how can they follow you as far as social media or website or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. Uh, Robin Shelby. You can search for me, and Actress Robin Shelby on Instagram. Um, you can follow me, say hey, message me. Yeah,
And what would you say has been your greatest challenge thus far in your career in the entertainment industry?
I think staying positive. Um, in the industry, everybody will tell you there's like 99 no's to every one yes that you hear, and it's just staying positive and continue to believe that you can do it, and that you want to stay in the business and stay positive, because it can be tough. It can really be tough. You just have to love to do it, and the no's, every yes is so worth it, even if it's one no to every yes for like 99 no's. That hearing that yes is pretty cool, and the work when you get to do it is the best. It's really the best.
And on the flip side of that, for you personally, what has been the most rewarding being a part of this industry?
Oh, I think I missed your audio. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's okay. On the flip side of that, what would you say has been the most rewarding being a
Oh,
part of this industry?
just the work, being creative. Ever ever since I started doing community theater as a kid, it's just something that when you find something that you love, no matter what it is, when you get to do it and be part of it, it's the work itself is the most rewarding. When you get to actually do something fun, make somebody laugh in a show, do something fun on screen that people appreciate. That's the reward for me.
And what was your experience like 1994 for Beverly Hills Cop 3, another wildly popular series? What was that like for you?
Beverly Hills Cop 3. I was in a costume, um, and I was Axel Fox. He's working at a what you call it? Oh my gosh, a theme park, and he goes into the theme park, and they have different characters in the theme park, and I'm one of them. And at the end, they name a character after him in the theme park called Axel Fox. And I got to play a fox in the beginning, and then they turned that character into Axel Fox at the end. Got to do some dancing. In the movie, you get to see us all kind of do a little dance number, and he comes on stage with us and starts dancing around with us. That was fun. That was fun, and yeah, that was shot at Great America in Santa Clara, and I actually got to work there as a singer. Before that, I was actually in one of their shows there, so kind of going back home and doing a film where I had been singing for a year or two. Yeah, it was fun.
Oh, no
It was
way.
fun.
Wow, small world.
Yeah, exactly.
That's great. So, why don't you tell us about, you produced 15 episodes as well. You were on the producing side of things, Far from the Tree, 2011 to 2012. Kind of tell us how that was like being on the other side.
Yeah, that was our first show, and now we're producing Two Cops in a Car, um, and we have like I want to say like 26 episodes of that. Um, it,
Wow.
my husband is a writer, very funny. Um, we both produced it together. He writes and directs. We both play two very inept cops in a car that have no idea what they're doing, and it's fun. It's very a lot of wordplay, a lot of like airplane kind of humor, um, and it's just there's no morals, there's no lesson to learn from it. It's just silly fun, and we're still shooting it. We're having another season probably start up at the end of February, early March. We love it, and that's keeping creative. That's um, like we talked about the reward and getting to do the work. Sometimes you got to make that work yourself. You got to go out there and do something on your own, and that's what we decided to just have some fun and make it on our own. Yeah, it was fun.
And obviously, I'm sure all aspects have their great moments. But if you had to choose one, do you have a preference when it comes to working in television or working in film or working in theater? Is there one that you like more than the other?
They're also different. Theater, you get immediate gratification with the audience reacting with you. Film and TV, once you do it, it's really out there forever. Um, with theater, it's not etched in celluloid. It's like it's
Right.
rewarding in different ways. I know being part of Ghostbusters, that's something that I'll be a part of forever and ever. That's bigger than me, and so grateful. And yeah, they're just different. I love it all. Just different medias and different ways of putting yourself out there. But I'd have to say I fell in love with theater first, but
Yeah.
I enjoy film and television too a lot. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So going back to Ghostbusters, you mentioned how nice Ernie Hudson was, and Bill Murray, throwing the
Mhm.
party on set, and how they were so accommodating in general filming on that project. So when it comes to Ghostbusters, what were the cast like behind the scenes, and do you have any interesting anecdotes from your time there?
Well, um, when I shot, you're kind of by yourself at ILM. They've already shot everything. Most of it was in New York, already done by the time we got to. So we're kind of put in with the actors that have already shot uh, the, the the stuff already. So I got to meet Bill Murray just because he came to the set and was there for the day. Not because I got to work with him on that day. I did. The people that I worked with were like Jim Fye, who played like the Statue of Liberty and the Ghost Jogger. We were working together at ILM, but just yeah. So the actors were just separate. So I just got lucky, and I got to meet a lot of the actors through other ways, other like whether it be conventions or they came to visit or whatever. Yeah, it's kind of a lonely job being in front of a blue screen um, by myself, but I'm not complaining.
But it must be such a
Like I
payoff
never
in the
got to
end
meet
when you
Rick
see the finished
Moranis, for
product.
instance. It is. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah. And you have no idea. Yeah, you film your stuff and there's a lot of work that goes into it and you don't really know how it's gonna turn out until you're watching it. Of course it's so exciting to go and see what it actually turned out to be, what your work looked like.
And fast forward 2016, you would continue on in the Ghostbusters universe and kind of continue that legacy, this time with Lady Slimer. And again, this is 2016. You are the voice. Kind of tell us how that role came about for you and what that experience was like in comparison to the first time.
It was it came by total surprise. Paul Feig. It was Christmas, before 2016, 2015 December. I get a Twitter message from Paul Feig saying, "Hey, I'm Robin. I'm Paul. I have something that you might want to do in Ghostbusters 2016. Are you up for it? Do you want to do it?" And of course, am screaming in my house, "Oh my god! Oh my god!" And my husband's like, "What's wrong?" And I showed him the message. He's like, "Well, write him back. Tell him yes. Tell him yes." Um, so he reached out to me without even meeting him previously, which I'm so grateful that he did that. That he let me be a small part of that film. The fact that he reached out to me and said, "Hey, are you interested?" I'm very grateful for that.
And what would you say is the best piece of advice that you've received, thus far in your career?
If you want to do it and you love it, don't let somebody tell you that you can't. Um, Believe in yourself and just if as long if you're doing it because you love it, you're not hurting anyone. Don't let somebody tell you that you can't do it. Just go for it. And if you have a dream, don't let somebody tell you that it's not attainable, that you can't get it.
And whether it be Ghostbusters 2 or the 2016 version of Ghostbusters, was there a special movie premiere that you were a part of along with some of the actors? Did you get to be a part of that?
Yes, 2016, I actually got to walk the green carpet at the Chinese theater, which for
Wow.
any actor, that's surreal, absolutely surreal. How many actors get to have that opportunity to do that? So, yeah, that was, you'd asked about like some of the biggest moments that was one of the bigger ones in my life that I'll never forget. But yeah, that day was exhausting, but so much fun. Oh my goodness. Yeah. And nerve wracking. It's like when you're out there and they had international press that you kind of walk by, and if they wanted to ask you a question, they could talk about. For an actor who hasn't done a lot of that, it can be a little scary, but it was great. I got through it and I didn't fall, which is a plus. I was wearing heels. I didn't trip or anything like that. So I made it through the day and it was so much fun.
Yeah, that's such a cool moment. I mean, to be a part of any red carpet event or any, in this case green carpet. I love that they call it that. That's fantastic. but especially Ghostbusters. I mean, it's just such a great
Yes.
franchise, and everybody has a special love for it, I feel.
And the fans were there. They were really great about it, making sure the fans were included. There's a grandstand of they had bleachers for the Ghostbusters, and they they loved it, and we all had such a good time all together. But they really, what I love about Ghost Corps, they really incorporate the people that are supporting them, and the fans, which is pretty cool. It's very cool.
And what's your take on physical media and how that's kind of gone by the wayside? It is starting to make comebacks here and there, but obviously everything is in the digital age now. I'm a big fan and supporter of physical media. I just feel like it's so nice to kind of have the package and look through the book art and whatever it may be. But what's your take on that and how it's progressed?
As far as the media and how it's given to people, is that what you mean?
Well, just fans had the opportunity to obviously buy these films on DVD and Blu-ray, and now it's becoming less and less. It's more so
Gotcha.
streaming services.
You're right. You're right. I okay. I'm a Screen Actors Guild member. We usually get physical like screeners for the SAG Awards, and every year we get like a pile of screeners to view, and they're not really doing that this year. It's streaming, all streaming. So I love getting physical copies of the movie, like DVDs. I don't know why. So I'm gonna kind of miss it this year. We'll get to streaming, of course, but I just there's something about getting, like you said, like a package. It tells you what maybe a log line what the story's about. You get the DVD. Um, yeah, this year that you're right, it is changing. They're being definitely going all to streaming this year. Last year it was like half and half, but this year it's like they're like I think maybe they're trying to, which is possible, save resources, save material, and mailing. But yeah, you're right. There's something about holding it and having it in your hands that I miss. I miss.
Sure, and I get that. I get their point of view as well, and it's all positive at the end of the day. But just my preference. I always loved having the physical copies.
I I agree with you, 100%.
So what's next for Robin Shelby? Obviously, you said you're still very active with on the producing side of things and commercials and whatever it may be. You're you've got a lot going on. But what are your goals? Your future goals?
Just to keep creative, keep producing, to keep creative, keep auditioning when I can. I'm still very fortunate. I still have an agent and a manager that are sending me out there. I'm still meeting new people. I think I'd love to do some more conventions. Like I said this year, I'd love to do at least one in this next year. I kind of since the pandemic, I hadn't really. I've done maybe one. So it's time to kind of want to get back out there and hang with the fans because it's fun. And just keep working. The one thing about being an actor, you never know from day to day. You could be sitting there on a Thursday, bummed out because it's like, gosh, I haven't auditioned in a while. And then the next day, you get an audition for your favorite TV show and a callback. So it's like things can change on a dime, which I love that about being an actor. It can change immediately. So you never really know what can happen in the near future. Hopefully all good things. That's what I'm hoping for.
Absolutely, a new year, and the sky's the limit. So looking
Yes.
forward to seeing what the future holds for you personally. And rewinding back to 1988, were you also a part of Willow as well?
Yes, that's actually my first introduction to ILM. I played a troll that gets eaten off a bridge. A willow runs into a
Oh
troll and
wow.
a hydra monster. Two and hydra rips me in half. Um, funny little story, and I've told this before, but it's interesting. I woke up that morning to shoot, and I was running 102-degree fever and throwing up. And my dad said, "I'm packing you in the car. I'm going to drive you up there." Um, and I started, feeling a little bit better, but I was still feverish and not feeling good. And then I was in a costume, completely covered, being sick and hanging from a bar 15 feet in the air, and then falling into a vat 15 feet below. So how I got through that day, I'll never know. Um, but had I
Oh my
not
God.
gone that day, I don't think I'd be talking to you about Ghostbusters today. So they got to know me because I just sucked it up, went there, and I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can get through this, and I'm glad I did. So made some friends that day, and then when Slimer needed to be cast, they said, well, maybe let's talk to Robin to see if maybe she's interested. And that's kind of how I got an audition for that, because they kind of already knew what I could do, sort of.
Wow, what a story. So, yeah, you basically, you succeeded at your worst. So it's all, you know, smooth sailing from this point forward, I guess, right? You've already, done the extreme to the other side. So,
And
what a
always
way
take
to
the
start.
job if you can do it, and it's something you love. Work begets work. Right, right.
And, fast forward many years from now, just looking back at your career as a whole, what do you want your legacy to be? How do you want to be remembered?
Mhm. Wow. Um, as a person who is kind, a person who's creative, a person who is appreciative of the fans and the work that I've been able to get. Yeah, it's important to me that and I think the fans know, like, they treated me so well that I'm just as appreciative to them. Um, and I think that's what a legacy of just being hopefully a fun person to be around and good to the people around them.
Well, Robin, I want to thank you for taking the time to be here today. I want to thank you for all of your contributions in the
Thank you.
industry and, being a part of so many great projects that, I personally have loved over the years. And I look forward to checking out some of your new projects as well. And, can't wait to see what you have next in 2026 and beyond.
Thank you. And maybe we'll get to hang out at a convention once again here soon.
Absolutely. Would absolutely love that. And yeah, hopefully you get out this way in New England and I will certainly
I would love
come
it.
and say hello. And thank you again so much for the great Robin Shelby. I am Joseph Bruen, and this has been the All Access Entertainment Podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave your comments. Let us know what you thought of this episode. And we really look forward to seeing you next time. So thank you so much. And Robin, thank you again.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.